Welcome back everyone to Fitz-PSG. Today we're going to do something a little special, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite systems of all time, the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch my top 5 flaws or my year in review, I recommend giving them a view, and I'll link them up above here as well. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the top 5, no, we're going to do one better. We're going to give you the top 6 best accessories to have for your Nintendo console. So stick around and let's see what I have on the list here for you.
Here we go!
Now, the first item that I recommend everyone gets is a screen protector. One of the biggest flaws that I noted in my video was that the screen is made out of plastic and it's very easily scratched. Now, if you're using your system in portable mode, you want to make sure that you protect your investment. There are plastic screen protectors, but I don't really recommend them. They don't do that great of a job of actually keeping your system protected, and some of them are a little bit lower quality and you might get bubbles, and they might have a little bit of a rainbow effect where the actual screen colors don't look as good as what they should. Now, what I recommend is this 2-pack of a glass screen protector, and I'm going to make sure to put all the links in the description below for you. This is actually under $10 on Amazon, and you get 2 of them, and it is a complete glass kit. The glass will give you better scratch resistance. I had absolutely no bubbles on the installation when I put it on, and it took less than 5 minutes to do the whole thing. Now, I would recommend one of these even if you're not going to use it in portable mode, because the dock can scratch your system. And for a $300 system, it's worth the $8 to buy this and make sure that your investment is protected. Now, the second item I recommend everyone gets is a micro SD card. Now, the system does come with 32 gigabytes inside. Only about 25 of that is actually usable, as some of it is used for the operating system. Now, if you're going to be primarily physical like I am, you don't have to worry about it too much. Most of the indie games on the shop are pretty small, but if you are going to go digital with most of your games, you can very quickly fill up your Nintendo Switch. That's why I would recommend getting one of these. Now, they vary in size anywhere from 8 gigs the whole way up to, I believe, 256. You might be able to even find ones bigger. This one's only a 64 gig. I don't think I spent more than maybe $20 on it, so you can definitely find these out here, and this will fill a ton of games. I think I've used less than a third of this actually with all the indie games that I've had. So very well worth the money, and it'll expand your Nintendo Switch so that way you don't have to worry. If you are going to go purely digital, I would recommend getting a larger one, such as like a 128 or a 256. That's going to suit you a little bit better, as bigger games like Zelda will run, I believe it's about 20 or 25 gigabytes just for that game. So some of those larger titles will fill them up pretty quickly, so you might want to invest in the correct size depending on how you're going to use your Switch. Now, the third item I highly recommend you get for your system is a Pro Controller. Now, these are retailing for $69.99. I have seen them on sale a lot recently at Best Buy and Walmart for $59.99. Very comfortable controller. It makes it a lot easier to play some of the more intense games. I recommend this highly for things such as Bayonetta, Mario Kart, anything really. Pokken Tournament would probably be good because it's more like an actual normal controller that you're used to. It kind of feels like a Xbox One controller. It's very comfortable. The battery life is very long, and I actually think that it feels a little bit nicer than the Pro Controller they had for the Wii U. A little bit better build quality, so I highly recommend this. Now, in the same vein, I would recommend getting these as well. I got this in a kit of 2, and it is a Joy-Con controller. Now, if you're playing Mario Kart or something with people, using these by themselves, I find that they're very tiny and kind of hard to grip, and I don't even have big hands. I have very tiny hands, but they're not very comfortable. So what this does is it allows you to actually put your Joy-Con in the controller, pop it in, and now it feels more like a normal controller. I think these were under $20, maybe like $15. I'd have to look for an exact, but this is very nice, and it helps with those games to feel more like an actual experience. And if you have bigger hands, highly recommend getting these. if you are playing a lot of things on 2-player. Very, very cool. There's a lot of different ones of these. I think Nintendo even has their own first-party ones now that look like Luigi and Mario colors. So there are a lot of different options, but I would recommend getting something like this. Now, besides these two options, if you do play most of your system in handheld mode, maybe this would be up your alley. This is a plastic or neoprene casing that you can put on your Switch. It actually makes your console a little bit more ergonomic. You can actually see there are some hand grips right here. It just makes it a little bit easier to hold, and it also adds a nice little protection to your Switch as well. It's still completely usable, like all the ports are open. It is not dockable, however, so you would need to take this on and off every time, but it's very, very simple to use, and this is not very expensive at all. And I have found from using this that I no longer get hand cramps from using the thing in handheld. So if you are using it a lot in that, I would highly recommend getting one of these. Well worth the money. Now the next item is a no-brainer. If you're going to take it in on trips, I recommend getting a case that you can use for your Nintendo Switch. Now this one was actually pretty cheap, and this is a recent purchase that I had. I wanted to get something that was large enough to both carry my Switch with the protector on there and also carry all my games. So this is very, very nice. We've got 2 compartments, actually 3 compartments of games here. So 1, 2, 3 that you can use. Up here we have a nice Velcro area where you can put Joy-Cons. I have charging cables, headphones, very nice and very well padded. On the bottom is the area where you actually put the Switch. It has a Velcro strap in here to keep it down, and this one is very, very nice. Very thick, very sturdy, but not heavy. I also got this black one because I wanted it to not look I wanted it to look a little bit more discreet. That's the better word for it. I didn't want it to scream, hey, I have a Nintendo Switch in my hand, if you're ever carrying it like in the city or around large crowds of people. I had a Zelda one, and I think it was a little too flashy. So I wanted something a little bit more discreet, and this definitely fits the bill. Would highly recommend getting one of those. Now the last 2 items here that I have for number 5 would be a portable car charger or a battery backup. This will allow you to plug in your Switch while you're in the car and keep constantly playing. This is a very, very nice accessory. I actually just recently used this on my road trip, and it kept me playing the whole entire time without fear of having any battery issues whatsoever. Now, if you're not near a car, this goes without saying that maybe you should pick up a portable power pack. Most people complain that the Switch's battery life isn't that great. I get at least 3.5 hours on the most intense games, and I've gotten the whole way up to 9 hours on indie titles, stuff like that. Now, I don't really complain because it's full-blown console graphics on the go, and what are you really going to complain about that? But if you do want to keep playing longer than that, this is a 20,000 milliamp battery backup. Just to give you an idea, most cell phones have a 3,500 milliamp battery in it. So you could charge your phone multiple times. You can definitely charge the Switch, and it's very cool because it does have 2 ports on here, so you can charge 2 devices at once. Very, very helpful and useful. I normally just plug my cell phone in here and my Switch at the same time, so I have juice for both of them, and it just charges like normal. You can plug it into a wall outlet or plug it into your computer to charge it, and this is actually one of the cheapest battery backups I have ever found. I believe it was like $25 for 20,000 milliamp. I found this from another YouTuber, and he highly recommended it, and after using it, I have found nothing wrong with this company. Very, very well constructed. Color is more to your liking. You can get a couple different colors. I believe there's black, orange, different stuff like that. I just got the black for normal everyday use, but maybe they've had even more colors by now. I'm not really sure, but I will definitely link this in the description as well. Now for the bonus item of the episode. This is actually very, very cool. I think I spent $15 on this, and I've never honestly seen them in a store. I had to order it online. But what this is a switch stand. It allows you to actually put your switch at a few different angles. So as you can see, you can kind of lay the switch down or stand it up more. And one of the nice things is you can actually put your switch in this little cradle here. And by doing that, it elevates the USB-C port, and you can actually charge your switch at the same time, which is very, very cool. I really like that feature. It is very, very useful because if not, you're unable to do both at the same time. That was a really big flaw that Nintendo must not have seen. The other thing that's really nice is the kickstand on the Switch only offers one viewing angle. This gives you 3 different options that you can use. Maybe the kickstand isn't the right viewing angle for the table you're on. Well, you can switch it up with this thing. You can lay it almost the whole way back as well, which is very, very nice. The other thing that I like is I don't particularly trust the kickstand that is on my Nintendo Switch. I feel it's very cheaply made, and I've already had it pop off a few times, so I really like this stand because I don't have to worry about it collapsing or breaking or anything like that. So very, very well worth the money that I invested in this. Altogether, these items weren't that expensive. I would say most of these I hope that you guys already have if you're a Switch lover like me. So right there was my top 6 items that I recommend for the Nintendo Switch. It's a great console. It does have some shortcomings, but most of them can be remedied by using these accessories. Battery life not long enough? We have a battery pack. Don't like the kickstand? We have this stand here. Not a fan of the normal controllers? We have a Pro controller for you. So anything that you can really hope for with the Nintendo Switch, it seems as though someone has gone ahead and fixed that issue. I do hope that you liked the video. If you did, maybe think about giving a thumbs up and letting me know what you think down below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It definitely helps me out and it helps the channel grow as well. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you back on the next Fitz-PSG.